Hey guys, Josh Nick here from GoPro Mate, and today I'll be showing you different ways of using your GoPro when going out fishing. So if you're someone like me who likes to go fishing, being from Cairns up north, it's always great to go out and get some good footage of your fish that you're catching so you can go back and show your mates. This here is just one of the rods I'll use mainly when I go out reef fishing, either this or another one. And I've actually found out a couple of really cool ways you can mount your GoPro to the rod, just to get some really obscure angles that normally you wouldn't really be able to get with a normal camera. But obviously, if you're using a GoPro, you should know that you can pretty much do anything with it. So yeah, first thing is get your GoPro, and if you've got a Jaws, what do you call them, the flex clamp, I'm not sure what the name is, but you get one of those, you get your adjustable arm, and once you've done that, get your rod, get the clamp and mount it pretty much anywhere that's close to the reel, but you won't actually be putting the GoPro in the way, so when you do catch a fish, you don't have this bloody massive mount in the road of your fishing. You want to be able to grip your rod comfortably and still be able to use it, so I just want enough room just so I can grab the rod and wind at the same time. You also want to mount it so your line isn't going to be rubbing up against the mount, or the mount getting in the way of the line, because that could cause your line to snap, or it could damage the mount. So you just want to really keep everything out of the way. So this angle is pretty cool. You can see that the tip of the rod is near the center of the screen, which is good because then you've got room for the rod to bend. So let's just pretend I'm a fish here. If this rod's bending, it's not going to be cropped out, because if this end was on the far left of your screen, once it bends, it's going to start getting cropped out. So yeah, so once you've got your fish and you hooked on, big trevally, big bloody cod, whatever it is, you'll be able to get the full rod action in your shot, which is awesome. And if you look at my cape video, my cape edit I did, I think it was about a year or two ago, I actually had the GoPro mounted in a way that was similar to this, except this was before the clamp mount was out. This is what I'm going to go into for the second mounting part. So if you're someone who doesn't have one of these Jaws mounts, get one because they're really good. So if your rod is, say, thin enough to use your handlebar mount, and just pretending that this is the actual grip of the rod, you just want to attach your mount like so, and then you can get those adjustable arm bits. I'm not sure what they're called. They're just little bits that screw onto here, so you can sort of maneuver it, and it's basically a mini form of the Jaws flex mount. It'll still work. Might be a little bit more awkward to set up and to use, but it still gets the good shots, and I'd highly recommend doing it. So if you don't want to mount it onto your rod, what you can also do is get your head strap mount. And this is actually probably one of my favorite mounts for fishing, and I'll show you why in a second. Once you've got a fish, you'll be winding. You can still see the tip of your rod. You can see your reel. You can see the whole action in the one shot. Depending on how you should be sort of straight up and down, like facing forward, because if you too much of this, obviously you won't be able to see the tip of your rod. So just keep that in mind. Just don't sort of face down too forward, because you want to be able to get the whole action in your shot. So for your third mounting position, you can do the same thing but with the chesty, and that pretty much gives you just almost the same sort of look, except instead of looking down on your rod, you're sort of looking straight into your rod. And I'll show you in this clip here from my Seabreeze edit how to mount it on my chest. You can still see the reel of the rod, you can see me winding, you can see the tip of the rod, the water, you can see everything. So it's just a different angle of how you want to look at it. Okay, for the fourth and final mount is the wrist mount. This mount won't be for everyone because the majority of people fishing will be using rods. It's not really like the best sort of mount to use because it gets in the way of your reel. So you're trying to catch a fish and you got your bloody GoPro like rubbing up against it. You can't get it's not comfortable to use. Plus you're not really getting much of a shot. But if you're one of the few people who like to use hand lines, this could actually be the mount for you. Because obviously you're going to be just having your reel on the ground or in your hand or whatever. But once you've hooked that fish, you're going to be reeling in that fish with the line. You're going to be using both hands on the line and you're going to be pulling in that fish. So with this mount, you'll be able to get the full action of pulling that line in. Now before I finish this video, I just want to talk about the camera settings you're going to be using. I'd highly recommend just using flat out 1080p super view with 60 frames a second enabled. Super view because one, you just have this massive field of view, which is really good for especially mounting it on the rod and putting it on your head, chest mount. And use Pro Tune. Always use Pro Tune when you're filming. I don't care what it is. You want to use your footage and actually show it off. Use Pro Tune because it will just look 100 times better. Trust me. So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments or send me a private message. Subscribe to me on YouTube, like me on Facebook. I'll be posting my edits and tutorials on my Facebook page. Subscribe to my main channel. That's where you'll find all my GoPro and Canon edits. I'm filming this tutorial right now with my Canon 6D. And yeah, thanks guys.